You know, you got to remember what it is that victims or targets of bullying want, and it's pretty simple. They just want the bullying to stop.
Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying.
People
Use technology.
The phone to the iPad to the laptop.
Message, text, sound.
Via Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram.
Kind of find a weakness in this person and attack that weakness.
Sending repeatedly mean, harmful, annoying messages.
Pretty much downgrading you.
To harass or to intimidate.
You know, I think it's no different than regular bullying or harassment.
I just don't know that people understand the depth of harm that can do.
Too many have learned of their child's suffering and humiliation after it was too late.
Daughter Megan. Megan was born on November 6th of 1992. And Megan was this normal, everyday kid. She got a friend request from a boy by the name of Josh Evans. I got a message from Josh that said, "You're not a nice person. I don't want to be friends with you anymore." The next day, Megan got a message from Josh that said, "You heard me. No one likes you. No one wants to be friends with you." I get home. I ran upstairs, opened the door, and I found Megan hanging in her closet. The Josh account had said to Megan, "The world would be a better place without you." We found out 6 weeks after Megan passed away that in reality that Josh Evans account was a hoax. It was a joke. It became a game. It became a joke. The jury found her guilty on 3 misdemeanors, deadlocked on the 4th, but the judge eventually in 2009 overturned the case, stating that too many people lie on social media accounts. It would be unconstitutional to convict Lori Drew.
I don't think that our legal system has caught up with where we are with social media.
Millions of people, often anonymously, can stab you with their words, and that's a lot of pain.
Occasionally I would get text messages from people that I didn't know, like numbers that I didn't know, telling me that I was fat and ugly and that I should kill myself.
Teachers and counselors and stuff will respond, and they have to respond.
School didn't do anything about it. They just confronted the kids, and then they continue to do it.
After the Megan Myers case, that's when the legislation changed, and they looked at it again to make sure it was addressing these things.
We did get the laws put in place back in 2008, Senate Bill 818.
We don't really have a cyberbullying ordinance, so I would classify it as harassment.
And there are now laws being created around cyberbullying. The fact, and they have started with young people who have committed suicide.
I don't think there has to be necessarily a crime of cyberbullying. You can address a cyberbullying incident through either claiming it's harassment.
We tried going to court, but we would have to file for harassment since cyberbullying isn't backed by laws, but we didn't have enough evidence for it to be harassment.
Until we get to a situation where those prosecutors feel like they can really win a case, we're going to be stuck here.
It's harder for, I think, a kid to be able to go to their teacher or their parent and say this happened and be able to prove that it happened.
Unfortunately, there's not always this clear-cut legal way to handle it. You have to have enough proof.
Laws have to evolve with the way society behaves.
You always have to change. You always have to evolve, especially when we're talking about technology.
And where is that dancing that line?
Where's the line in terms of what's emotional abuse, I think is really undefined for many people.
I think, if the kid's getting some type of depression and they don't want to come to school, it could lead to a lot of things.
A lot of studies linking certain mental health issues to social media.
It's 24 hours a day, and that's really the hard part, that we don't have an ability to just walk away or disconnect.
Everyone's constantly on their devices. There's always those opportunities, but you also have to take steps in order to kind of not put yourself in position.
You can't really get away from it. I mean, certainly you can block people, but a lot of times teenagers don't want to do that.
The thing with cyberbullying that you don't often get with face-to-face bullying is you can reach a much, much larger crowd.
Bullies probably do use "I have freedom of speech," right? But do you have freedom of speech when it's impacting someone else?
I mean, I think free speech is important.
Yes, you have freedom of speech, and yes, sometimes it's going to hurt others.
Freedom of speech is I can believe certain things, I can talk about my views, but the moment that you cross that line,
It starts affecting others in a negative way.
You're directly impacting somebody, and it's at their expense.
You're trying to take your opinions and in a negative, hurtful way, shove it down somebody else's throat.
Then that's absolutely not okay.
How is that freedom of speech?
and then that's where that freedom of speech ends.
I think that's not free speech. I think that's harassment.
They're cowards because they're doing it online.
Because I can hide behind a computer, I can hide behind a phone.
I think cyberbullies kind of keep doing that until they're caught.
Do they really think that they're going to get prosecuted? Do they really think they're going to be held accountable?
Especially since we're losing life because of it.
Things evolve to that degree. You have to have protection for people that follow.
I think there is nothing wrong with instituting policies that say that harassment of any form, whether it comes through the internet or whether it happens to you face to face, is unacceptable.
It would be nice if there was something in place that was a blanket piece of legislature that addressed that.
At least had a federal law, then we could make sure that if on the state level it's not handled in the way that we want it to be handled, you can push it up to that federal law, whether they have to do community service, whether they have to do certain different things.
It's going to get worse if if people don't start really paying attention to it.
It seems to me our society is going the other way.
The information sharing, everything is huge, but we spend so much time with the negative part of it that a lot of times we don't get a chance to really embrace what's really great about it.